Hello everyone, Tim again, timscomputerfix.net. Welcome back to another live stream from here in my computer repair shop. Today we're going to be doing a little, I'm going to just discuss a little bit about troubleshooting an HP desktop I have sitting here. And I'm going to let you know what I found out with it. I'm going to hopefully show you a few of the symptoms. This is kind of a strange repair here. Or not a strange repair, but it's the type of repair that if doing this live, it's hard for me to get this issue to repeat itself. Anyways, I'll explain that in a minute. I'm going to sit here for a while and let the chat populate for a second. Ben, what's going on? Oh, I-386. I've seen you around, buddy. I've seen you around. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, the desktop. Yep, I told you I might be just doing a little video on it. It's going to be a kind of a more of a discussion thing, but anyways, I'll be talking to you about that in a minute. Ah, spam call. Look at there. That's my daily spam call. Get those from time to time. Well, actually, I get them every day. D. Lucas. Good afternoon, sir. Awesome. Oh, my cat. My cat, I guess, wants to join us today. So hey, I gotta pimp my channel. Anybody new here, or if anybody's watching the playback of this video, hit that subscribe and like button down somewhere down there. You know where it's at. Hit the bell so you get notified when I go live. I've been going live a lot lately, and I will be sprinkling in some recorded videos still. But you know, some of this stuff really, I feel like it could be done better live, explained better and everything. But anyway, so let's go ahead and let me show you what I have here. Let me get this camera sorted. I got a different camera angle today for this reason. So let me see if I can get this around where everybody can see what I got going on here. Right? Let's see. Don't get dizzy. Here. You want to zoom in here a little bit, just for now. As a matter of fact, let's see if for now. So you see, oh, so you see my this desktop computer here. This is just an old, you know, HP P6000 computer. A customer brought into me, and I did originally have Windows 7 on it. And it's been upgraded to Windows 10 and all that good stuff. She said that you know, she was just getting like I don't know, black screens, blank screens, and different stuff like that. So I'll tell you right now what I have done to this desktop computer. I have removed the hard drive and tested it. So just remember, I have tested this hard drive. It tests just fine. I booted up to Linux on this and everything, on a live environment and all that. There's no issues with the RAM or anything here. Okay, but this is, I've narrowed down to what it is. But the weird thing is this is one of those repairs. Let me back off here just a little bit so I can show you this screen right here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up this computer, right? So what I have here is a, let's see if I can find it, pull this from here. I have a Windows 10 USB flash drive that I have plugged into this computer, and I've been booting to it. because the original operating system that she had was corrupted for one reason or another. Plus, she just wanted a fresh install. So, and you know, when I first troubleshot this, I saw that, you know, I tried all the repairs and everything to repair her operating system and everything. It wasn't working. Went through the whole gamut. Decided to go ahead and just reinstall the operating system. My whole thing is thinking that Windows 10 got corrupted somehow, but that turned out not to be the case. So let's see if I can get this to do it again. I'm going to do this one time, and whatever it does is whatever it does. But I'm going to hit the power button here, and I'm going to start hitting the escape button on the keyboard. And we're going to go into the boot menu. And there you see my my flash drive. This is the DVD drive. This is the hard drive. So I'm going to go into my Windows 10 USB. We're going to go into that. Now from this point forward, I don't know what it may do. It has never completed this process. It fails at one point or another at different times. I've never once had it load up to the fully installed Windows 10 desktop. And see what it does here. You know, it'll probably make a fool out of me since we're live, you know. That's why we do these live things. It's always, you know, you always take that chance, especially with things like this, because every time I've booted this up, it's done different things. So I have no idea what it's going to do now. The one thing it's never done is gotten all the way to Windows 10 as far as loaded it completely on that hard drive. So, so we'll see what it does this time around. I want to see if anybody can take a guess at what I narrowed this down to. So, okay, this is all normal, right? This is normal. We'll just hit next. We'll hit install now. Get all that started up there. And we'll see. We'll see what she does. Like I say, I don't want to spend a lot of time here on this particular part of it because there's a part on this I'm going to have to change. Let me go down to the, this is Windows Home on this computer. And then, of course, we'll accept the license. We'll do a new install, completely new. Here's where I've tried this before. We'll just delete, delete, get rid of all that. We'll go to next. And now this should proceed to try and install Windows. Now, from this point on, let's just see what it does. So, you know, basically, this has failed every single time. But we'll see where it lets go here. Or is it going to make a fool of me and load all the way up? Ah! Okay. Windows cannot install required files. Make sure files required for installation are available. And restart the computer. I've had this error before. I can restart this thing and do this process all over again, and it'll go past that. Sometimes it'll go all the way into loading Windows. Not loading Windows, but it'll go all the way to, it'll do the whole install, and then go to reboot, and then it'll go to a Windows load screen, like we're going to boot into the hard drive, and then it'll just spin. And it'll never load, ever. So, anybody want to take a stab at what this problem may be? Because I believe I've narrowed this down. Remember, I've tested the hard drive. The hard drive's in good condition. Nothing wrong with the hard drive. Memory, I've tested the memory. Memory is in good condition. So, And the USB flash drive that I have here is the one that I always use on all of my installs. And so don't know. Change IDE mode to AHCI in the BIOS, i386. You know what? That's a really good thing to check. And you know what? That is a definitely good answer, but that is not the issue. It is not the issue. Not the issue. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. Let me shut this down. Move this out of the way. Let me back off the camera here a little bit. We'll move that back down to the computer here. So, SATA cable, that's another good guess. That is another good guess. So, out of the 3, 4, 5 times I've tried this, and I have even gone in and pulled components off the board and all that, just to be sure nothing was interfering and everything. There was one of the times that this was going through that same process, the whole computer shut off. The whole thing just shut down. And I was like, what? I mean, I'm getting like, you know, green light on the power supply and all that, and everything, you know, seems to be spinning and fan spinning and all that good stuff. But it shut off completely. So then I turned it on again and just tried it again for the heck of it. And when I started to hear, very faintly, and I don't even know, I'm not even going to try it with you, there's slight clicking noises coming out of the power supply. Very small clicking noises. So it's really tricky when you're diagnosing, you know, computers that have a possible bad power supply, because sometimes everything will appear normal, everything will run normal, then you start getting these little funny errors here and there, which makes you start, you know, chasing different different things, different, you know, like they say, your BIOS settings. You know, you can reset your BIOS, you can check your SATA cables, you can pull everything from the board. But the one thing that I did, here's what I did. I took a known good power supply. As a matter of fact, we're going to do that right now. Known good power supply. I'm going to, over here, I'm going to unplug the power supply, and I'm going to drain it. I'm going to drain it just like that. And I'm going to basically just unplug the 24 pin. And we'll unplug the 4-pin connector. Let me see if I can get you a little closer. Right? So I will even, I'm going to unplug the SATA connector, the power to the hard drive. Right? Then I'm going to take the good power supply, set that here. My monitor just went off here. I think it came unplugged. That's funny. Only live, right? Okay, and I'm just going to leave the power supply sitting right here. I'm going to go ahead and plug this power supply in temporarily. This is how I do it, just to check to be sure that it's not a power supply issue. And you know, when that power supply shut off on me, or the computer shut off like that just out of the blue, it pretty much started to make me start to kind of point my finger at the power supply. But once again, let's see if I can get this in here. Let me just do this. Get this up so I can see what I'm doing here. Tight spots, fat fingers, right? I don't even have my glasses on. Get around my neck. I get it. I get it. Come on, guy. Yeah, that's why. If I plug it in the right way, it might work, right? All right. Hard drive's on. Okay, hard drive, 24 pin. And then I'm trying to find here's the CPU pin. It looks like a big giant mess, but as long as I got this right, so here's the CPU pin that goes down in here, right into this guy here. Can't quite see it, but there it is, right? So I got the hard drive, got the 24 pin, got the 4 pin processor power. The only thing I don't have plugged into this right now would be the CD drive. That's not causing the problem for sure. And you know, I still got this little Wi-Fi card plugged in here on the PCI Express slot. So then I'm going to plug my power up to that new power supply, and we're going to try to do the same install again. Plug it in, power it on. Okay, got my keyboard here. Let me move that where I can see it. There we go. Looks like a Frankenstein, doesn't it? Right, so I'm going to go ahead and power this up. If I can find the power button. There it is. We'll go ahead and start hitting escape. Alright, and we'll move the camera up here for you so you guys can see. So of course now it's not showing the CD drive because that's not even powered on. I didn't bother plugging that in. Highly unlikely that that's even an issue. So we'll go down to the Kingston Data Traveler. That is where our Windows 10 installation USB is located. Now let's go through this process again. So this will either work or it'll make a fool out of me. One or the other. But I think we're going to be okay here. I think we're going to be all right. Which is kind of funny sometimes how those power supplies work, isn't it? How they can lead you down a funny road sometimes. I've had so many issues with that. There's so many weird things with power supplies that are on their way out. Alright, next. Install now. Get through all of this part. You see, if I was just recording this video to post on YouTube, I would be skipping through all of this part. Don't have a product key. We'll do Windows 10 Home. Next. Next. Custom. Delete. Delete. Next. And here we go. So let's see what happens here. Now if it errors out on me, fellas, that's where going live can go sideways. I'm just going by pretty much what has happened to me before I turned on this live feed. So Don't make a mockery of me. How's everybody doing in that chat? The good, the bad, and the ugly. I hear you. Hopefully this will be good and not ugly. See there? So far so good, right? I'll tell you what, one thing about Windows 10, it loads quick, even on mechanical drives, you know? You don't have to wait too long for it to install. So we'll see here what it does, but hey, does anybody remember these guys? Old school. You know what that is? Come on, you guys know what that is. What is it? Hey, Baker B, what's happening, buddy? Well, I mean, as you notice now, fellas, on this, we don't have that error anymore. So, that's one good thing. But we shall see. We shall see. So far, so good. No guesses yet on what this is. Anybody? Come on, chat. Anybody know what that is? You have to go back a ways. These things were used a lot back in the day. Back in the day. 80% of getting the files ready for installation. So let's see if it takes us all the way through. Let's find out. Shouldn't take us too much longer. Baker B is thinking maybe that it's a voltage tester. A voltage tester. But it is a Compton's here. Hello, Compton. Compton is one of our lead techs over at the Brytech forums. Compton and I both have made a home over there. Hey, there's some really good forums over there. BrytechComputers.co.uk. You know Brytech. He's a good tech. And he's got a really good forum. You should head over there and check it out. Voltage tester. You're pretty close. I mean, it's a voltage tester, but it's specifically for power supplies. And come on, guys, you know, these have been around forever, right? Forever. Forever and ever. But, you know, they're only good for certain uses. It doesn't necessarily, just because you test with one of these and this tests good, does not necessarily mean that that power supply is okay. This is just one of them few tools that you use to maybe get an initial diagnosis of your power supply. This power supply doesn't even put, actually the website claims that this power supply puts it under load, but it doesn't. I mean, come on, how could this put the power supply under load? Look there, fellas. Getting through the entire installation now. That's something we didn't do before. I don't know. Now it's going to reboot. It's going to go ahead and reboot, and let's see if we can see if it boots into Windows off that hard drive. And if that's the case, my theory is correct. My diagnosis would be correct. We'll just let that roll on by. Dublin, Georgia, I-386. Yes, I know where Dublin, Georgia is. That is not far away from me at all. So let's see if Windows loads. Looks like it's trying to. Hey, Tony. What's going on, Tony? How about it? Oh, yeah. Trying to load. We'll see. We'll see. It's taking a minute. Don't know. Don't know. It's taking a while. Let me back off that a minute. Put that down there. Got that running like that there. Orthopedic, you know, your knee drain. Oh man, that's nasty, Mitch. That's pretty nasty. Well, this is certainly is unexpected. Cool. Well, not sure what's going on here, but it doesn't look like Windows wants to continue loading. So, that definitely means there's something else going on here. Again, I'll recap one more time. Tested the hard drive. Hard drive tests fine. Tested all of the memory here. See if I can get you down a little lower. Four banks of memory there. I've tested all of them. Tested that just fine. Hard drive's okay. Tried to install Windows several times. During the loading process, I either get an error or the computer completely shuts off. And I've tried that multiple times with multiple results. So as soon as I plugged in a known good power supply with plug that in bare bones with just the hard drive plugged into it. It goes all the way through the load screen, goes all the way through loading Windows onto the hard drive. But now we're getting that on reboot. So there's definitely something else going on. See guys, that's why we do this live. Let me fire it up again one more time and see what it does here. I've taken that USB stick out. Let's have a look. Safe mode, I mean, I haven't even gotten through. This is a fresh install of Windows, Tony. So I haven't even gotten to the setup screen where we can, you know, set up Windows itself. So there's definitely something else going on with this computer. Could be a possible motherboard issue, actually. But I don't know. But I don't think Windows is going to want to load. So that's definitely an issue. A strange issue or something going on there with the board or something. Tough one. Fresh install of Windows. Don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think there's something going on with the board. It's done different things on each time I've tried to install Windows on this computer. Every time. One of them, the whole computer even shut down. The other time I get the error that everybody saw during install. There were several times I've gotten to this screen without booting. So, don't know. Tested the drive. Look at the hard drive controller, Tony. Let's do that. Let's check out the hard drive controller. Let's do that. I'll let you guys troubleshoot this. How about that? Sounds like fun. Let's go back into the, what's the boot menu? I'm just being sure F10 is set up. So we'll go back and we'll do the F10. Yeah. But it's no different than how it was set up before, Tony, with the original install here. So here, let me show you the screen. There's our hard drive. Advanced features. This video. SAT is enabled. It's on AHCI. I think that needs to be there. One memory at a time, Compton. Yes, I've done all of that. I've thoroughly checked the memory on this computer. So those settings look right to me, unless you guys see anything. It looks all right to me. It's an HP P6000, fairly older computer. There's your power settings there, boot options. I mean, those look right to me. So, I don't know. It's out of control. I mean, all we got is the IDE mode, HCI mode there. It is HCI, so all of those look right. Let me hit defaults here. I'll hit defaults. I'm going to save and exit. I want to go back in and be sure that drive is set correctly again. It's still in AHCI mode, so let's just reboot the computer. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's a possible motherboard issue with this guy. Doing all the weird things it has done since I've had it. I thought I had it narrowed down with the power supply, especially since the whole thing shut off one time. That was the strange thing. We're revving up now. You guys hear that? Now the motherboard's revving up. Wow. Yeah, weird stuff, man. Puppy Linux. I've done it before. We can do that. We can do that right now. Fan spinning up. That's not good. Oh, going back down. Did that since I reset the defaults here. There's my puppy drive. We'll do that next. Let's go next. No, there's no smell. No smell or anything. Nothing smells like it's burning or anything. So let me interrupt this. We'll try to boot into that live disk, which I've done before. Fire this up. You guys back up this way. But I agree, Baker. Something is really funny with this guy here, so let's boot to the ADATA flash drive. Puppy Linux. Slacko. See what we got here with this. Here we go, Tony. See what our results are here. You know, another thing I could try, even though my drive tested good. There we go. Puppy! All good. Even though my hard drive tested good, I could try another drive and load Windows on there and see what happens. Just because your tools tell you that that hard drive's okay does not mean that it is 100% the truth. So how about that? Let's do that. Shut that down. Power off my power supply so I don't fry anything. So I'm going to temporarily take this drive out. Oh, let me go down where you guys can see what I'm doing instead of seeing my big mouth in front of the camera. I know it looks like a mess in here. Again, I'm going to keep with this power supply because this whole thing shut off one time for no reason. I have reason to believe that the power supply is bad, but Windows won't load all the way. So let's just try that for the heck of it. Just going to unplug this guy here, move him out of the way. This, my friend, is a known good drive. So let's see how far we get with this guy, huh? I'm going to pull my puppy. I'm going to put back in my Windows 10 loading disk there. I'll stand that up so the circuit board doesn't touch anything metal. Like that, right? Give it some power. Let's bring this back around. Let's fire this thing up again. Let's go back in and see if we can load Windows one more time. So if this fails here, or if this doesn't load Windows or whatever, you know, I'm probably not going to do any more diagnostics on this live. I mean, I've pretty much done a fair bit of diagnostics already before I came on camera, and I'm thinking we could very well have a motherboard issue. You know, I may try something simple like changing the SATA cable, you know, but that is unlikely but not impossible. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, there was actually I think the original drive's 500 gigs, but I've tested that with a couple different tools. Tested okay, and I cloned it. I cloned the original install too with no errors, so it cloned all the way through. So that's a good sign too that the drive's healthy. So if this works, I'll be surprised. But let's find out. And this will be it. This will be the last test I do here. Unless you guys come up with something that would make sense to try here. So install now. I just let everybody know too, if they haven't heard me say earlier, that this original power supply that was in this computer was clicking at one point, making ticking sounds. Let's try it. Here we go. Last effort here. Clear off what's on it. Clear off what's on it. Next. And here we go. Oh, sometimes I hate ones like this, you know. It's not looking good though. You know, all the USB ports are in good shape. Everything looks good there. You know, visually I don't see anything. I don't know. Puppy would not boot if there was a motherboard issue. Well, that's not necessarily true, because you know, Windows activates different controllers on the motherboard and handles them in a different way than like Linux does. When all the drivers for Windows and all gets uploaded, it starts using the full functionality of the board. I don't know. You would think that a puppy boots and the motherboard's okay. You would think that. Yes, the Windows installation disk, I use that on all of my installations. And as a matter of fact, I just created it yesterday because I update it once a week, and have used this to install on a computer just yesterday, and it installed just fine. So I get where you're coming from there. And it's not a disk, Mike. It's a USB thumb drive that I'm using to boot from. So I don't know. We'll see. If this loads up, I'll be like, wah ha ha ha, yes. But if you guys remember, at this point, that error came up when I had this original power supply plugged in. There was an error right there. It said that there wasn't files available. Once I swapped the power supply out, it got past all that. So I thought I narrowed down the problem. It could be more than one problem with this computer. %. I use Puppy Linux. Ramping up again the fan. It's never done that before. It's doing that ever since I reset the or loaded defaults on the BIOS. Doesn't mean anything then. Strange. Yeah, I'm rolling on out. It's already been almost an hour here on this live feed here, so this will be the last thing I try here for tonight on this, guys. Don't have an answer yet, Lee. I've corrected one problem, but now we're looking at another here. Don't know. I use Puppy for a lot of my data recoveries. It's really good for that. Like where there's hard drives that like mount in Windows, but as soon as you go to try to access anything, it flakes out or crashes your computer or something. That's when I bust out good old Puppy Linux and boot into that, and then it sees the drive and I can pull everything over a lot of the time. That's okay, Lee, no problem. I understand fully. One more time, I've tested the original hard drive. I've tested all of the memory. I've had clicking sounds coming from the original power supply. I've had the computer shut off on me while loading Windows. I've had errors on this screen while loading Windows with the original power supply. I put in a known good power supply. That error goes away. It doesn't shut off anymore. But when Windows goes to load to the disk during reboot, it just stays on the loading screen. Doesn't move past that. Fresh install using a USB flash drive with Windows 10 that I just updated yesterday, and I used that same flash drive to format a laptop, and it worked just fine. But this live thing, hey, this is what you're going to run into sometimes, right? I have not zeroed out the hard drive. I have not done that. I got another hard drive in here now. I've got a known good hard drive in here now, and we're loading Windows again, just to see, again, just because your tools tells you that the hard drive is okay does not mean for 100% that the hard drive is okay. Yeah, Tony, it's tough. But, I mean, what else can you do, you know? Like I say, %. We're almost there. So close. This would be great if it loads, because that means we've saved the job, more than likely. More than likely. Come on, Windows 10, load. Here we go. Come on. Finish it up. Here we go. See what we do. Rebooting. What you think, fellas? What you think? I've just pulled the drive now, so it's going to load right to the disk, right to the hard drive. Here we go again. Loading, loading. What? What? Wait a minute. Wow. Is it gonna load? Looks like it. Wow. Here we go. How about that? Well, listen. I'm telling you right now, I tested that hard drive with 2 different tools. I took it out of the computer, put it over here on my bench, plugged it directly into a motherboard over here, and I ran SciSoft and I ran Crystal Disk, and both of them passed the drive. And I also cloned this drive to another drive to protect their data, and that clone went through flawlessly. So what it's looking like is power supply and hard drive issue. What do you guys think? Because yeah, I think it's a power supply issue too, because this computer shut off on me. It gave us an error when we were booting to the thumb drive. It had nothing to do with the hard drive. It gave us an error. Yes, sir, D. Lucas. Those WD drives, especially those larger ones, do go bad often, I've noticed. But hey, you guys helped me get through this when I saved the job, man. I appreciate the advice and the help. This is going to be great. I'm not going to completely load Windows, or I'm not going to set it up or anything, because I'm not going to use that hard drive. I'm going to use a new hard drive. Unbelievable, man. Let's just, I guess I can't totally celebrate until I see. I think we're in good shape though. I think we're in good shape. Wow. That's crazy. Anyway, I'll have to go through the process of, I have another power supply here. This is a brand new one that's out of the box. These are really good power supplies for the money. EVGA, man. Okay, Kevin. The check is in the mail, Kevin. Kevin Adair. Kevin Adair. These are really good power supplies. EVGA. The 430 watt. I think I got a 450 watt variety too. It's not modular or anything. But hey, they're sleeved. How about that? We've been stuck on getting things ready here for a while, but I think we're going to be all right. I think we're going to be okay here. Unbelievable. If you guys ever need to look into some affordable quality power supplies for whatever jobs you're doing, look into those EVGAs. I mean, that's really all I buy now is EVGA power supplies. Really good for the money. Really, really good. I like them. If I can just get past this screen and get to where you put in your information, I'll feel a lot better. Been on this screen a while. Antex. Nothing wrong with Antex. Definitely not. You know, Thermaltake back in the day, they used to have really good power supplies. I haven't heard much from Thermaltake lately in the power supply field. Fans revving up again, so that must mean it's doing something. But like I say, here we go, it's rebooting. You know, guys, I think we have it. I think we have this. I really do. Listen, we're going on over an hour here on this. I didn't intend for that. This was a crazy one. I kind of knew it would be when I started, but it was fun, especially with you guys in the chat around to kind of help me out, edge me on, and that was fun. So we're going to be doing this more often, but I really appreciate everybody's help. I appreciate everybody being here. Subscribe to my channel. Please, if you're new watching this or you're watching the playback of this video, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. timscomputerfix.net is my website. Fellas, until next time, we're going to see you soon, all right? See ya. Wait a minute, I'm curious as why it is you seem stuck with you. Okay, bye guys.